Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your Europa League watch-along for Manchester United's trip to Romania, FCSB. Book your tickets for Bilbao in late May because we're going all the way to the final. Get ready for that. We've also got updates on Tell, interesting team selections for Manchester United tonight as well. No Garnacho, apparently he's not well, and as we know, we might have seen him in his last game for Man United. I hope not. I really, really do hope not. But we've got to be a little bit careful, haven't we? And I think that Manchester United hopefully wouldn't do that to us, would they, in the last few days of the window? Because you know what the worrying thing is? Tell looks like he's going to Spurs. So why would you sell Garnacho if Tell is going to that? Tom Heaton in. Don't know what's going on there. I presume that's coming from the forum. But yeah, lovely stuff. Also, want to give a big shout out at the start of the show to Fotmob. They are sponsoring the show tonight. We've been working on this for a while because they're going to be able to do things like this. Yes, we will be able to show you the permutations of what the playoff draw will look like in the latter stages. So you'll be able to sort of figure it out as to how it's going to look like with Fotmob. There you go. Absolutely brilliant. Figure that one out for yourselves because I'm still trying to figure it out myself. But don't actually know how it works, but sort of got a little look at it from the Champions League last night. But what is Fotmob? Well, I'm sure many of you know about it anyway. Basically, every football fan needs Fotmob. If you're not using this app, you're basically watching football with your eyes closed. Whether you're a stats geek, a diehard fan, or just want to sound smart at the pub, Fotmob's your go-to. It's like a football encyclopedia in your pocket. If you want to stay up to date with how your club's doing, transfer targets, turn on Fotmob notifications, boom, instant updates on goals, assists, everything. You can even go really in depth with things like heat maps, which I know you'll love, pass accuracy, tackles, real possession stats. Fotmob's got it all. And it goes hand in hand with our stats carousel, but obviously we can't fit everything on the screen. So whilst we might be able to tell you bits on the stats, Fotmob gives you a hell of a lot more, and I love that heat map thing. But today, Fotmob's powering our live league table and knockout brackets. Watch the standings shift in real time. Who's climbing, who's bottling it. We'll talk about that in a minute. But don't forget to download Fotmob and give it a go tonight. It's free, it's brilliant. 20 million fans around the world agree. Scan the QR code in the top left-hand corner or go through the link in the description. Do it before kickoff and you'll be stuck. You won't be stuck refreshing Google like a casual. Big shout out to Fotmob. And just to give you a little bit of an insight into the sort of stuff we'll be doing. If you were on That's Football last night, you'll have a bit of an idea as to how this is going to work. But look, these league tables will be updating in real time. But we will start off with that because Manchester United only need to win and we're guaranteed to finish in the top 8. I think if we draw, there's a massive chance we finish in the top 8. But if we were to lose, out of the top 8 into the qualifiers. So there is jeopardy. There is jeopardy. And also, I think it's very interesting how Amorim's team, for me, is... I feel... I don't know whether this is fair. I feel like the team that Amorim has picked enhances the jeopardy. That team, to me, lacks pace. It lacks flair. We'll probably go and win 6-0, but I trust Amorim. So I'm not like, it's not like the latter days of Mourinho or Oli or Ten Hag where you go, what the hell are they doing? I'm not thinking that for 1 minute, but I am sort of looking at it and I'm going, well, look, Rasmus has had a lot of stick recently. I'd love him to score some goals and get some confidence. Bruno and Eriksen behind him, I mean, where's the flair and pace there? Malacia and Dalot as the wide players, where's the creativity there? I mean, whatever you think about Rasmus, and you know I'm a big fan and I do believe in him, and I know a lot of you don't. That's absolutely fine. You know, there's definitely a case to do that. But he must be sat there in the dressing room going, what the fuck? I mean, what the fuck? How am I going to get service here? But then again, you never know. Eriksen, Dalot on the right-hand side, you just don't know. I do like Mazraoui, De Ligt and Martinez as a back three. It gives us an opportunity to rest Maguire. But the bench, Garnacho is on the bench, by the way. He has been ill this week, but he is on the bench. Ahmad's on the bench. Casemiro's on the bench. Heaton, Maguire, Lindelof, Onana, Ugarte, Yoro, Xerxes. So the bench is really, really strong. we can make changes if we need to. So I'm not stressed. I'm not worried. I mean, we should have more than enough to not lose this game. And if we don't lose the game, we'll finish in the top 8. And then we don't have to go with a... we don't have to go with a... What was I going to say? We don't have to then go with a qualifier in August. Oh, what? Don't do this to me when I'm live, you absolute cretin. What's it doing? I can't believe it. You go live and then your mouse starts playing up. It was playing up this afternoon as well. Knobhead. Sorry, I'm just talking to my mouse. Yeah, the driving with Goldbridge is back if you want that sort of stuff. Piece of shit. Anyway, TNT reiterating the death of old media. Robbie Savage saying Amorim needs to tweak his system. Do these guys actually think before speaking, says Patrick Lynch. Well, I'll call you Patrick Lynch because actually we can feast on your very good observation. Mate, look, I did a video this afternoon on That's Football with Loz, and we were talking about Gary Neville talking on his podcast about how Michael Oliver is one of the best referees in the world. He should be on the Arsenal-Man City game, and he made one mistake. And just genuinely backing Michael Oliver in the PGMOL. And I think this is propaganda now. You are actually part of the propaganda. And you got Robbie Savage, who I don't think he's trying to feed any propaganda. I don't think anyone's putting a voice into Robbie Savage's head. He can deal with that himself. I mean, he's just talking absolute nonsense, but that's what you pay for. The way I look at it now is I pay for the rights to watch the game. I don't pay for the stats. I don't pay for the analysis. I don't pay for the commentary. I certainly don't pay for the punditry. This is the place to come and do that and have an open conversation, which isn't ruined by propaganda and mates rates and everything like that. Oh, but you love Rasmus. Well, no, I don't. I don't love Rasmus. I like the player. He's not been good enough, and I've given him low marks for the last few weeks. So, no, I've been honest. Will you go for a pint after the live show, says MMA Takedown? Mate, it's in Temple Bar, Dublin, on a Wednesday night. I think I will be partaking in a few drinks in the party area of Dublin on a Wednesday night after our show, yes. If you want to get tickets to our show, by the way, they are early release for 24 hours. So if you're a member, link is, if you are a member, go to the community tab and the link to the tickets are there. If you want to become a member, I think it's pinned in the live chat at the moment. But first 24 hours is for the members. Tomorrow it's out for general release. They will go quick. It's our 10-year show. Got some really exciting guests, and it's going to be a very different type of show in Dublin, and there's a reason why it's going to be in Dublin, and the people who go to the show will know why it's in Dublin. I know we've done Dublin before, but there's a reason for it. Will you go for a pint? Yes. What car were you driving in Driving with Goldbridge, says Parker? I'm glad a lot of you have watched Driving with Goldbridge today. It's an absolute pleasure to bring that back, and I'm very grateful to everybody who has watched it. If you guess the car, I'll tell you what it is. It's as simple as that. But yeah, you got to guess what it is yet. Will be, let's have a look. Buy Wirtz for 90 million and sell Garnacho, says Philip Awosu. And bought tickets for your show in Dublin. Row A ticket. Really looking forward to it, Mark. First time in Dublin too. Love it, Johnny. Hi, Mark. Really enjoyed the return of Driving with Goldbridge. The Tough Monster was last seen in Nottingham today, says Spin. Dorgu's not having his medical till the weekend, says Terence. I think, basically, in relation to Dorgu, if I'm being completely honest, I think what's happened there is that Dorgu is basically probably going to be like a new signing. And we've done this before and we'll do it again. I think that we've done it. I can't remember the last player we did it, but some of you will know. We bought a player like a week before. We had the Here We Go a week before the transfer deadline day, but we didn't announce it till transfer deadline day. And I can't remember who the player was, so you get a point if you can remember that in the chat. But we definitely did do that. We had the Here We Go like a week before transfer deadline day, and then we announced it on transfer deadline day, and I can't remember who it was. And I did say it to you a couple of days ago on the morning show, if United aren't going to do any more transfer business, what price they do the official announcement of Dorgu on transfer deadline day so that we can't do anything else. I can't remember who the player was, though. I feel it was more recent than Casemiro. I feel like it was a lot more recent than that. This is your live watch-along for FCSB versus Manchester United. Lots of things can happen. Sam, I've sorted the volume. Don't worry about that. You should do a Royal Rumble watch-along. This is Forever MUFC. I mean, that's not a bad idea. I just don't fancy out that much of a late night. I was going to watch it in the morning. Alonso, I will bet you a free membership that Garnacho stays by tomorrow morning. Hope for a win. Cheers, says Alonso. Robbie Savage has Amorim 3 out of 10 so far on TNT. Paul Daly, I mean, he's just a terrible pundit. I mean, he's probably a nice guy, but he's a terrible pundit. Let's face it. I can't respect ex-players who just won't shut up about their agenda. And he just won't shut up about Amorim going to a back four. And I think, why would he go to a back four, Robbie? He's played a 3-4-3 his whole career. It's his thing. It's what he does. It's like asking Pep Guardiola to start playing long ball, Pulis ball. It's just not going to happen. And he's a very, that's what he's done. Why would... Oh, Robbie Savage says you should go to a back four and play, moments football. It's just not going to happen, is it? He ain't changing. He shouldn't change. And we should support that. Do you think that bringing Dorgu could help Dalot return to the form he was in? I hope so, Lucas. King Fix says, brilliant lineup for Højlund. Hope he does well. Terence Roberts says, Dorgu medical at the weekend. Done that. And Spin says, really enjoyed the return of Driving with Goldbridge, the Chuff Monster. Yeah, I've done that one, haven't I? Thank you very much for that. Welcome to everybody who's watching on TikTok as well. I think we're live on there as well, which is great. Hope you're doing well. Big game for Manchester United tonight, and we will be bringing you up to date with everything that's going on. But of course, we're supported by Fotmob tonight, so make sure you download Fotmob. Links in the description on YouTube. Scan the QR code. It's going to help you a lot in relation to the interactivity and the permutations of what could happen tonight. So get involved with that. I'm going to remove that. We've got the stats there. I actually do want to put 9 to 16 in there as well. So that's how the table looks for Man United at the moment. If you're on YouTube, Manchester United are in 4th place, 15 points. FCSB are in 8th place with 14 points as well. Where's the jeopardy? Well, 9 to 16, that is where we could drop, and 13 points, Galatasaray. There are teams that could move Man United in below 8th if we lose. If we draw the game, I think we'll be absolutely fine. If we win the game, we're definitely fine. If we lose the game, we might end up outside the top 8 and in a qualifier, but we don't want to see that happening at all. Let's talk about the Mattis Tell latest. I've played the game. It gets better every time I do it. I go more towards Soonest the more I do it. I've played the game. Anyway, what I was about to say is I've played the game, because I did say this on social media yesterday, and I did say it to you on this channel. I feel that Tell will go to London and we're just being used to enhance the opportunities of that deal. How many times have Man United been used to enhance a deal, get more money for a deal, get a new contract for a player? Have we genuinely done anything around this deal other than David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano say Man United would be interested in a loan, but they're working on other things? David Ornstein literally said United would be interested in a loan, but they've got to do other things. Chelsea and Spurs have always been talking about permanent deals. So, look, I'd love it to turn, but I think this has happened countless times. You sign Dorgu, you get linked to someone else, you think the club's going to do something, and we don't. So I think that as much as Tell would be exciting, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, does it? It looks like he's going to go to Spurs. And that's an interesting signing for Spurs. I mean, where does he fit in at Spurs? I mean, I thought he wanted first-team football. They've got Son, they've got Solanke that they've just spent £60 million on. They've got Johnson, they've got Kulusevski. The Spurs move surprises me. And also, he must be allergic to silver, because he ain't going to win any silverware there. And people can say, well, he ain't going to win any at Man United. That's 2 trophies. I mean, that's 2 we've won in the last 2 years. So I don't really get the Spurs story, but it looks like Tell to Spurs could happen. And obviously, Bayern Munich and Spurs have got a really good relationship because Bayern Munich bought Harry Kane. Nah. So, yeah, it's not looking good, is it, in relation to Tell? And as I said to you this morning, thanks for all the follows on TikTok, by the way. Loads of people are giving us a follow, like SE. But as I said to you this morning, beyond Tell, there is nothing. There is nothing out there. There are no links to any player. And that doesn't mean that Man United couldn't do something in the last few days, but it's unlikely because people tend to know when Man United are looking at players. Prometheus says on TikTok, would you get rid of Garnacho? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. And not at this late stage. I mean, if you were going to get rid of Garnacho, I would hope you'd have a plan. You're doing it for the money, you're doing it for PSR, and you've got somebody lined up. I feel that if we sell Garnacho late in the window, we haven't got anything lined up, and what we have got lined up either isn't good enough or is desperate. So, no, I don't. And let's be real. The only reason we'd sell Garnacho is because we can't move on Rashford. Thanks for all the super chats that are coming in on YouTube. Glenn C says, just know we will announce Dorgu Monday and spend all of next week waiting for his work permit. It seems to happen with every signing. Yep. I agree, Glenn. And let's not forget as well, if you wait till Monday to sign Dorgu, then you haven't paid him a wage for the whole month of January. So it saves you, 50 grand? And don't say Man United wouldn't wait a week to sign Dorgu and save themselves 50 grand. They're cutting 40 grand a year from a charity. They'll definitely do it. Since we signed Dorgu, would you let Delo go to Madrid? Is there any time left to do another piece of business? Says Chiri. Well, I think I covered that. We'll have to wait and see. Patrice Evers says, you drive a Bugatti. I don't. And House Jacket says, I feel playing Eric in a 10 is giving Rasmus a final chance. Ericsson, if anyone is going to give the guy the service, it's him, says House Jacket. Look, I listen to a lot of people. I read a lot of things. The Højlund hate train will disappear as soon as he scores a goal. And he might score a goal tonight. But I'll tell you now, as somebody that likes Rasmus and thinks he's a good player, even if he scores a hat-trick tonight, it doesn't actually solve the problem. The problem is still consistency, and the problem still is consistency of service. So if Ericsson does provide him with a couple of chances tonight, where's the chances in his next game? Where's Xerxes' chances going to come from? This is not... I did the video on this, and I wish I'd renamed it because it was like, we need to talk about Rasmus, but actually we need to talk about the last 7 years up front for Man United. Cavani was living off less than 2 shots a game. Harry Kane was getting 4 at Spurs. Isak's getting over 3 at Newcastle. We don't provide, and this season, by the way, we're providing less than 1 shot per game for our strikers, so it's going down. The graph of chances for Man United players, strikers, is going down and down and down. So I think that I would definitely be of the opinion that this problem is far bigger than just talking about can Rasmus score tonight or anything like that. I think it goes far, far deeper than that. And I think it goes back to the inability to create chances for our striker. And that goes for Xerxes as well. But look, I'd love him to score tonight because I think it's been a bit relentless for a while, but he hasn't been playing well for a while. And as I always say to anybody, you are judged on performance. That's the way it's going to be. There's plenty of other players that have been judged for the same thing. So I don't have any problems with that at all. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, if you're on YouTube. Will Ange Postecoglou get the sack if Spurs lose? I don't know. I think they might be waiting on that Carabao Cup second leg against Liverpool, to be honest. Scott says, Rasmus is a good finisher, but he can't hold up the ball. Let's hope we have a stress-free, good game of football tonight. Probably wishful thinking. Much love from South Africa, says Christoph. And I'm very excited about this match. Love from Romania, says Masio. And hi from Australia. I'm Romanian. FCSB is my home team, says Ovidox. Good. I would like to say good luck, but that would be bullshit. Dom, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Just know we will announce. Done that from Glenn. Since we signed Dorgu, done that. Come on, done that. My partner says you're the best, and even though she isn't big on football, she watches daily because you're hilarious. Sprite says hello and keep it up, says Gummy Smith. Thank you very much. Martin Day says, do Sky Sports News ever go off script? Mentioned Duran 4 times in 15 minutes. Darmesh and Carvey bore the life out of me. What are you watching Sky Sports for in 2025? The only reason I watch it for is when there's a football match on. I mean, bloody hell, it's crap. Andy Mack gifted a membership. Thank you very much. It's your boy Calv has been a member for 70 months, by the way. Absolutely incredible. Love that. Rudolph the Red says Dorgu's not travelling till Saturday. Love that as well. Okay, I mean, look, what I will say about the transfer window, Saudi have just offered 70 million for Mitoma from Brighton. Why is it that we never get any Saudi interest in what we're in and what we're doing? I mean, I know people are going to say, "Oh, it's because your players are shit," but I'd love to get £80 million for Lindelof. Why can't we get £80 million for Lindelof? I'd love that. It would be absolutely fantastic. It'd be absolutely incredible. But we just don't. It just doesn't happen for us, does it? Which is such a shame. Okay. No time for Højlund critics. He is isolated up front in a team that cannot create and playing 5 at the back, says Andrew. Yeah, I don't actually think there'll be a lot of service today, but I don't know anything about FCSB, so I don't know. Massio is very excited about this match. Love from Romania. Yeah, big shout out anyone who's watching from Romania. Love that. Christoph says, let's hope we have a stress-free good game. We've done that one, haven't we, as well? We are only 7 minutes away from the start of this game. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner on YouTube. We are getting very close to... I don't know why that's not up, actually. I've just noticed that's not there. I knew there was a reason I wanted to say it, and now I know. Where is it? Get back. There we go. We're very close to changing that to 31,000. We're only 15 subscribers away, so please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Daily content on the United Stand. 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. And obviously watch-alongs and everything else and breaking news. Get yourself involved as always. And big shout-out for everyone who's watching on TikTok. DJ's just given us a follow there. Who's Sophie and Reese as well. Let's have a look there. Thoughts on Ahmad and Garnacho not starting, says Farhan. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very valid question, and I think it comes down to Amorim's. It's Amorim's choice, isn't it? I think that what we've got is a scenario where. Sorry, I'm messing around with something here. What we've got here is a scenario. I just want to move that there. I'm messing around with TikTok. They'll know what I'm doing. Yeah, what we've got here is a scenario where he's probably not gone as strong as maybe many of us would do, but he's got a strong bench. So he might not need to. And he's probably looking at the Palace game with a little bit more interest than maybe I would. Was you driving a little Tykes iconic Cozy Coupe, says Luke82. And can we have a driving with Goldbridge with guests Michael Oliver, Samuel Luckhurst and Rashford's brother? Would do mad views. They wouldn't dare, Kazim. They wouldn't dare. Because I'd before they came on, I'd get an ejector seat sat in the passenger seat. And then when they said something stupid or just annoyed me, I'd press the button. Al Nazir bidding 90 million for Mitoma, apparently, says Patrick Lynch. It's crazy money. It's crazy money. City are friends with Abu Dhabi, says Hardick. No Saudi interest because team form is pants, says Scott Treacher. And Amit's been a member for 42 months. Love your content and community. I hope we will dominate them today. Rasmus. I'd love Rasmus to score, but at the end of the day, that I can't be that, you know. It can't be that. Hi, Mark. Please, can you give Jess a big shout out? Shout out to Jess. Thanks for your super chats that have come in, Harvey Jones. Don't forget to check out Fotmob as well. We are going to be updated by Fotmob, powered by Fotmob, whatever you want to call it, on the live score. the live scoreboard. That will update as teams score and everything like that. So that's going to go up, and that's going to go up as well. You'll see teams moving around. But if you want to check all the scores and get score updates and United stats and heat maps and all that make sure you download Fotmob for free. Link is in the description, and give it a whirl. They are powering us today. Thank you very much to them. Right, AG17 unwell is good or bad? I want him to stay, says Tech Empire. He is on the bench, Garnacho. The players are coming out now. Nice, I like that tracksuit top for United, by the way. Oh no, shut up. Stop saying stuff like that. We can't do that. We can't just be tracksuit top and third goalkeeper kit FC. This is why they make the money. It is a nice tracksuit top. This is how they make the money though. Currently 27 feet off the ground, changing a £400 compressor for work. Shout out to the community. Z3 Music Official. Well, stay safe, mate. Whatever you're doing, make sure you stay safe. Getting a notification that FCSB are playing Man United. Shit, no one told me. Don't know why I'm getting a notification on that. Okay, let me get this going. Lovely stuff. I just wanted to see on TikTok how delayed I am, but I'm not delayed at all. That's a gangster top, says Stacks. And you missed my super chat, says Matthew Baker. Sorry, I'll find out it. Cyber Spider says, I've got a good update for everybody. My mum's cancer isn't as bad as first thought. Though I have got tested, might run in the family. Also got a new job and start next month. Busy weeks. Great news, Cyber Spider, one of our members there. Thanks for the update. Tiago says, hi Mark, it's my birthday today. Can I get a shout out? No. No, of course you can. Happy birthday, Tiago. And hopefully we do get the win. That would be nice for you as well. Right, let me just change that. Get the timer ready. Hopefully get some service in. I am going to try and stand up for a little bit as well. I like to stand up during a game, but I've really injured my heels. And I don't know whether anybody's ever had it. I don't even know if it is an age thing, but I have got dry heels at the moment from playing too much living room football, I think. It's bloody painful. I think it is an age thing because I remember my gran having it. Alex says, it has become an unhealthy habit to fall asleep to your evening shows. Now I can't fall asleep without your voice to deafen the missus' snoring, says Alex. Lovely stuff. Kark, check out Driving with Goldbridge. That'll be even better. Colin Bolger, welcome, gifted a membership. Thank you very much to Colin. Here's Bruno exchanging badges, emblems with FCSB, formerly Stare Bucharest. Or probably, I don't know, why did they change their name? Probably some reason for it. Europa League, then the Europa Super Cup next season, says Chris Cooper. Look, I said Man United are going to win the Europa League. Am I going to be right? I don't know. But I did say it, and hopefully I will be. Why have they got a picture of... I thought it was a Liverpool player then. I thought it was like Terry McDermott. I don't think it was Terry McDermott. I think it was a player for Stare Bucharest, to be fair. But I was going to say, why have they got a Liverpool player doing that? But I think I'm wrong. Quick one. Perhaps any of sacked people not invested extreme fiscal measures to change reputation and not get ripped off. Hi, Mark, by the way, says Ash G. And hi, Mark, I really enjoy your watch-alongs. I've turned off regular commentary and listened to you for about a year, and I prefer it, says Blackgate. Thank you very much. Renton says, I hope Rasmus has a good game, rooting for him. Nice to see some people are rooting for our players and haven't given up. Thank you very much for that. Right, we're about to start here. There are some players out there, actually. I was going to leave this just until the start of the game. There are some players out there who have real... it's a lovely ground as well. Lovely ground. But there are some players out there for Manchester United who do have points to prove. Rasmus is one. Collier is a young player. Delo back at right wing back. Mainu in the midfield. Eriksson. So let's hope. I just hope we can get some service. But I'm excited as well. I'm excited as well. Like D. Roy Meester says, I'm excited to see what Mainu and Collier can do in the midfield. 19 and 21-year-old, or 20-year-old, I think. Anyway, we've started the game here. I've played the game, and we're starting the game. Man City fan on TikTok says, come on FCSB. What a surprise. Yeah, you've got Real Madrid or Bayern, mate. I'd worry about yourselves. You're not winning the league. Good ball by Delo into Bruno. Bruno's very deep here. Does that mean Mainoo's going to play higher up the pitch? Keep an eye on that. That's a lovely ball in by Martinez to Mainoo, who slips and loses control. We've got to do better than that, because that pass by Martinez was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Bogdan says that was the chat at European Cup winning hero when we won it in 1986. There we go. Looks like Mainoo is playing at 10. Yeah, Bruno's playing in the midfield. The Army hold rights to the original team names, as Justin. There we go. High five for that. Colin Bolger's just gifted a membership as well. Thank you, Colin. Malbec. Be interesting to see what FCSB are like. They're in the top 8. Binder as well. Good chance for him. What channel, please, Mark? I'm on TNT in the UK. Baggy bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. I mean, what's that? What sort of shitty ball is that? Fucking hell. Love the content, Mark. Much love from Washington, D.C. Sorry I missed you saying, but how do you feel about the rotated lineup? Look, I trust the manager. So, Jaden, thanks for the super chat. I trust the manager. So, let's hope it works out. We've got a strong bench if we need to. Ultimately, the manager knows more than we do, and we've got a game on Sunday at 2 o'clock, and we're travelling back from Romania. So he's probably looking at that game. We've been very vulnerable at Old Trafford, and he probably wants to keep some people fresh. So that's why he's done it, and it's tactical, and he's gone, I can pick this team and still get a result, and if it's going wrong, I've got people on the bench who can come on. Mark Jordan said he's asked for a show in Cardiff, says Matthew. He has. Not mean he's going to get one. There's a reason it's in Dublin, and if you want to know why, you'll know in the first few minutes when you're at the show. Get your tickets now if you're a member on the community tab. Robbo96 says, Gary Neville must be the worst ambassador for UK punditry. He said on Monday Night Football he doesn't watch much footy, and how tone deaf do you have to be to not realise the absolute pouters Oliver would get from the crowd if he covered Arsenal, says Robbo96. I doubt Gary Neville does watch a lot of football. I don't think Paul Scholes watches a lot of football. I don't think a lot of ex-players do watch a lot of football because they've spent most of their lives playing football, and they have very busy lives. I mean, Gary Neville owns a lot of property. He's into a lot of things. He was at the World Economic Forum, wasn't he, in Davos the other day? I don't think he's got time to sit and watch Forest play Bournemouth. I really don't. Apart from Man United, who are Europa League contenders? Lazio. I mean, that's your top 8. Powered by Fotmob. Download it for free. That's your top 8. Lazio, Frankfurt, Athletic Club, Man United, Lyon, Tottenham, Anderlecht, FCSB. And that's what I mean about winning this tournament. People go, oh, we're rubbish, we're rubbish, we're rubbish. That's the opposition. Like that's your opposition to win it. And Frankfurt, I mean, if I have a look at the Italian league table, Lazio are in 4th place, 14 points off the top. German league, Ericsson with a free kick, back post, Dillitt gets on there, but it goes wide. Frankfurt are currently in 3rd place in the Bundesliga, and La Liga Athletic Club are 4th. So, I mean, they're all having reasonable seasons, but I don't see any reason why we can't do anything about it. Apparently, Lazio haven't lost a game. Bollocks. They bloody have. They've lost 7. Oh, they haven't lost the game in the Europa League. Neither have we. It's not that big. Mainu's playing at number 10. I think Ericsson will provide needed creativity, says Cobham. Happy Chinese New Year, if that applies to anyone, says Tong. Yeah, I'm going out for Chinese on Saturday night. Fu on TikTok says, do you actually think Man United will win the Premier League again? Well, I hope we will. I don't think we will at the moment. I need to see some evidence. Mark, I've done that one. Thanks for your super chats. We'll read them out. John's a new member. Welcome to the Members Club. Remember, if you want to get 24-hour early access to getting tickets to our show in Dublin in March, then you need to be a member and go to the community tab. Tickets will go fast. It will be a great night. Love to see you there in Dublin. And the venue is fantastic. It's right in Temple Bar, which is the hub of Dublin when you're visiting. It's like being on Piccadilly Circus in London. It's the equivalent of that. I lived there for 3 years. I know it. I know. There's not a lot I don't know about Dublin. I almost call it my home city. Or as you'd say in Dublin, hometown. It's a dirty old town. It's a dirty old town. I did live there for 3 years. Positive about the future. The team is young, says Dead Zone. So's Chelsea's teammate. I mean, look, I don't think we're going to be in the bottom half of the table for long, but I don't think just because you've got young players, you're going to be winning the title. I think people underestimate the power of other teams like Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City aren't going anywhere. Mark missed Højlund's best hold-up play. He can hold up the ball. The thing about Rasmus is, the first month under Amorim, he was holding up the ball really well. And we were all talking about how he was holding up the ball really well. The last month, it's been really bad. But he can hold the ball up. Oh, nearly a great ball there by FCSB. Good interception by Martinez. He's given a free kick. And he's going to book Malacia. No messing about. There's a player rolling around. And I'll give Malacia the benefit of the doubt till I've seen the replay. It didn't look like a foul. Ooh. It definitely was. I don't know whether it's a yellow card, mind, but early yellow card there for Malacia. Late into the tackle. Didn't look like a yellow to me. I don't know what anyone else thinks. Dylan Mack on TikTok. Thanks for giving us a follow. Absolute legend. And Tobias as well. Please come to Seattle, Mark, says Mrs. Stone. I'd love to come. The plan is to come to the States for the World Cup. I mean, I know Man United are there again, but the tour last year was so bloody quick. Why is Dublin so big? Because it keeps Dublin, says Raz. There's always one. Would you say you know the women of Dublin well, says Rory C. Hey, come on. Robert's got his ticket for Dublin. Mate, I did see your message, but I've just been so busy this afternoon. But if it's not front row, I would have sorted it out. So you're on the front row anyway. Robert's always at our shows, and he's always on the front row. Getting his top off with his Rashford and Kane tattoos on his tits. It's a true story. I'm not speaking out of turn. Robert will confirm it. Positive about the future. The team is young. Thank you very much. Player down injured here at the moment. Binder is going to keep us in. No way that Fraud Anana is ruining our European Cups, says Carrie. Europa League, says Carrie. Thanks for your super chat. Malacia looks lost. Bruno keeps directing him, says Notorious. Nika, thank you very much for your follow. And Chaos as well. I don't think Malacia is that good. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I don't actually think he's that good. I think he's just an okay left back. And I haven't got a problem with that. I mean, some people would say, well, it's Ten Hag's fault. We bought him for 15 million from Feyenoord. We bought Dan James for 15 million pounds. These sort of signings don't really matter. Like, they're so cheap that it's almost like, let's see what they're all about. And it's just not worked out. Colin says, can't wait to see you in March in Temple Bar. Much love from Dublin. Listen to all the watch-alongs. Oh, what a chance for FCSB. Can I call them something better? Bucharest. Can I call them Bucharest, or would the Army own that as well? I don't know whether they're onside. Cross comes into the back post. They're queuing up. No, I don't think they are. I don't think they are onside. I mean, he should score, But I don't think they're onside anyway. I think United are playing the offside trap. But I don't know what Man United are doing playing an offside trap there, because it's marginal and it's a tap-in. What is the drone operator doing, says Mrs. Stone. And Void, it says, this is my first super chat from Nigeria. I think Chelsea might not finish in the top 4 and Sancho might come back. No, they've got to finish in the bottom half, mate. Void. Robert McCormack says it's true. That's not true. It's McTominay. McTominay and who? Rashford. Ollie Phillips, welcome to the Members Club. Dara Keelan, thank you very much. Casper Wong and Pai Tai, thanks. Welcome. Thanks for following. Are you hopeful, says Chaos, for a top half finish this season? I don't care, mate. Delo. Into Rasmus. Needs to lay it off. Into Ericsson. Lovely ball. Take your time, Malacia. Now cross it. Why didn't you cross it first time? Oh, we're back again. Why didn't he cross that first time? He gets the ball from Ericsson on the far-hand side. He's got loads of time to put the cross in, and then he controls it, thinks about taking someone on, which you can't do. It's like me trying to speak French, and then realise you can't speak French, so you speak English and go back to normal, and he passes it backwards. Absolute shit. I'm tired of watching this player not put a cross in when he gets the ball with time to put a cross in. Lucky we didn't do Sancho deal with Tottenham, says Pure Turnip. Yeah, be coming back then. The fans still call them Stare Bucharest, says Justin. I'm going to call them Bucharest. If you were manager, would you pull Malacia off, says Rory. Definitely not. I know what you're doing. Why is Bruno playing like a little girl, says Spencer. Sexist. And ageist. Yeah, some good balls by Ericsson. He just lacks legs. Even in that position where he doesn't have to track back, you need a little bit more pace, I think. I tell you what, I've just realised. Let's get the scores up, because we're okay, but there could be some jeopardy. While we're drawing, I think we're absolutely fine. Any goals in the Europa League so far? Braga are beating Lazio, funnily enough, but I don't think Braga are a threat. And Fenerbahce are beating Alkmaar. Only 2 goals. Only 2 goals in all these games in 14 minutes. Where are Fenerbahce? 15th. They've not done very well then, have they? That's not Fenerbahce, is it? I've just realised, idiot. No, Fenerbahce are playing Midtjylland. You're an idiot. I thought it was just a funny way of saying Fenerbahce, but it's got an R in it, idiot. Yeah, I'm not. Forget that. I'm thinking about something else. I'm talking about something else. Where off? The only reason I'm interested in Fenerbahce is because of Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho. Brr, 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 brr. Where are Fenerbahce? Are they? Surely not. Oh, chance! Malacia just couldn't get a good connection on it. Bounced to him in the box. Just want to have a look if they're there. Oh, Fenerbahce are in big trouble, look. 23rd. They will qualify, but they're not going to get in the top 8. They're on the attack now. Tell you what, well, he's rubbish. That's gone out, ref. Went a mile out. Having a laugh. Apologies, Mark. I got offered a new job today with a nice pay bump, so I'm having a few shandies here and I'm in great form. Let's hope we see all the wins, says Rory. Yeah, Mainu just didn't get hold of that. It's lovely skill, and it would have been a great goal. The defender put him off. That would have been a worldie by Mainu. Lovely skill. A fair play as well. A lot of you have been saying for a few weeks now that Mainoo's best position is an attacking player. As a higher up. Bruno's no-look cross. Ericsson! Straight at the keeper. Good shot. Apologies, Mark. I got off. Yeah, done that, Rory. Congratulations. Colin said, today's driving with Goldbridge was incredible. As an American and chuff monster sounds like a cryptic creature like or something. FCSB with a cross. That's okay. I absolutely love Collier's composure on the ball, says Dave. Thanks, Dave. What's the best seats for the Dublin show, says Sam. Mate, that venue's fantastic. I don't think it really matters where. I'll show you the venue tomorrow. But, yeah, I mean, if you want to be at the front, get row A, B or C. But it's a good venue. Maybe Google Olympia and have a look at how it's laid out. But, yeah, I don't think there's any bad tickets for that, really. Thank you, Sam. Have you ever been to the crowded Bishop before a game? It was so full, I had to take a leak with 3 other dudes at the same time. Crazy, says Carrie Potter. I think you're talking about the Bishop's Blaze, which is the pub up the road from Old Trafford. They literally, if it's a 3 o'clock game, they'll be queuing up at 10:30 in the morning. It will be rammed, and it's a good atmosphere. I have been in the Bishop's Blaze a few times, and not for years, but last time I was there was probably about 8 years ago, and I was with Kev and who else was a few United Stand lads, but I think Kev's the only one who's left now. And but yeah, it's rammed, absolutely rammed. Danksky on TikTok says Bournemouth for the Champions League, up the cherries. Yeah. Are you going to watch the Super Bowl, says Sergio? Yeah, there'll be a watch along on That's Football. Do players have to go abroad to grow? Like De Bruyne says Super Donut. Here we go. Cut it back, Rasmus. What a cut back. Oh, Mainoo. Lovely play by Rasmus. And he should have scored. Look at that. Intelligent run. Good pass. Lovely cutback. That was lovely play by Rasmus, that. Mainoo should have scored. He could have had 2. Right, free kick for United on the edge of the box. Martinez is a very good passer. Very good passer, Jide. Very, very good. The song Dirty Old Town is actually about Salford, says Dara. Yeah, but they sing it in Dublin, you know. Hi, Mark. Sandals, thank you. Don't know what you're talking about. You could come to the US for the Club World Cup. Fair play if you're going to watch the Club World Cup. It doesn't make any sense. If United were in the Champions League, where do you honestly think we'd have finished after 8 games? Mate, we would have been where Leipzig were. We wouldn't have qualified. No chance. Thanks for your super chats, by the way. Appreciate it. Thanks everyone who's on TikTok. Peter says Maguire to Madrid. Here we go. Right, this is a good free kick position. Paul McNamara and Michaela Moore, welcome to the Members Club. Are you off to buy tickets for the Dublin show by any chance? If you are a member, you've got 24 hours ahead of everybody else before it goes out to the public to get your tickets for the Dublin show. It's on the community tab. Right, who's going to hit this free kick? I'd go Martinez, left foot here. Yeah. Thoughts on Birmingham, says Blue Nose. I like Birmingham. I've lived in and around Birmingham. I don't live that close anymore, but I've lived in and around Birmingham since 2006. When I first moved down here, it needed a lot of work, but there are some good free kick over the bar from Martinez. There are some bad areas, as there are in all cities, but I like Birmingham. I think especially around the Grand Hotel, Hotel de Van, there's some nice bars and restaurants around that area. But everywhere's got its bad parts, haven't it? No yellow for that tackle, says Alec. I know. I was just thinking that. They booked Malacia for a tackle that I don't think was a yellow, and then there's no yellow for that. Absolutely stupid. Sonam, thanks for the follow. Maverick as well. How was that not a yellow, says Chris Petru? Exactly. Favourite Romanian player ever? Easy. Easy. Dan Petrescu. No, I'm only joking. Hadji. Wonderful left foot. 94 World Cup. Freestyler. Sally Devil Red 7 says, how do I buy tickets? Community tab, YouTube page. It has the link. To be honest with you, I'm not going to tell you how to get tickets, but there's a way you can get them anyway. With a bit of intuition, you could find them anyway. Just got tickets to the show. Kiwi coming from Barcelona. What's the format for the live show, says AJ. I'm not telling you that. It's 10 years of the United Stand. Ricky and Beth will be there. Hopefully, a very special guest will be there. It's just going to be a nice evening celebrating this community. Doesn't it feel like Martinez ball into the box is the only pattern that works in creating chances, says Guhan. Who was it who passed the ball into Rasmus? Was that Bruno or was that Martinez? Because again, you're right if you're talking about that. Rangers have scored, by the way. Just while we've got an injury to a player, let me show you this. This is from Fotmob as well. Probably might not make a lot of sense at the moment, but as you can see, that's the full Europa League playoff draw as things stand. So that's how the playoff sort of system would work. We're not in the playoff system at the moment because obviously you've got Galatasaray and Bodo Glimt would play the 23rd and 24th team. So that's sort of how it's working at the moment. Big shout out to Fotmob. We're not in that at the moment because we're in the top 8. Obviously, there's going to be a playoff before, but that's how it looks as things stand at the moment. That could change. Obviously, if we go behind, it could change. But there's not that many goals in the Prem. There's no goals in the Prem. There's not that many goals going on. Although Ajax have just scored against Galatasaray, which is good for us. That is a good goal for us because Galatasaray are not in the top 8 at the moment. They're actually, I think they're in 9th. Well, they've just dropped to 12th. But if they won, they could get 16 points. They're losing to Ajax, who are on their maximum of 13. But Galatasaray are only one of the clubs, one of 2, I think, that could pull us out of the top 8. So they're losing at the moment, which is good for us. And I think Bodo Glimt are the other one. Braga are still winning. Anderlecht are beating Hoffenheim. Not many goals in the Europa League tonight. Not many goals at all. Yeah, Bodo Glimt and Galatasaray are the only 2 who can go above us if we win and they lose. If they win and we lose. And Galatasaray are now losing. Rangers and Ajax can't go any higher than that. They're already winning, so they can't go any higher than that. Galatasaray and Bodo Glimt could go higher. Another foul. But Matt Mazraoui didn't get booked for that. Mainu making wonderful runs in behind, says Dave. Please wish Jack Brassey a happy 27th birthday from K Brassey. Lovely stuff. Happy birthday, Jack. Hope you're having a great time. And what a lovely message from your wife or sister. You've got the same surname, so could be a half, could be a stepsister. Could be a coincidence. Could be friends with the same surname. We don't know. We don't need to know. Mr. Solo Liam says, first time watching alongside my own viewing. This is epic. P.S. How good is that Collier and Mainu starting together? Mainu should also be an attacking midfielder. Well, they aren't technically starting together. Mr. Solo. They are one of them's playing as a 10 and one of them's playing as in the pivot ahead of the defence with Bruno. But it is good to see them playing. Don't forget Nottingham, my friends. You are 1 in a million, but never forget your roots, says Carl. Yeah, not a big fan of Nottingham, to be honest. Got to be honest. I think it's nothing like. I do follow a couple of groups on Instagram for Nottingham, and it's not the city I grew up in. Let's put it that way. A lot of the things I liked about it aren't there. Broadmarsh Shopping Centre, gone. I'm just looking forward to after the transfer window. No more Rashford speculation. Well, they will be angry if he's still here. Joe says, if you're going to Temple Bar, don't drink. €10 a pint. Mate, it's a celebration. I'll tell you all. Look, if you're coming to the show, and you're going for drinks after the show, I'll tell you where to go. Temple Bar is where all the tourists go, but literally across the road and up Grafton Street is about 3 minutes away. I'll tell you some bars. What's that bar we all went to last time? Halfway up Grafton Street on the right, near the hotel. I think it begins with a... I can't remember what it's called. Why can't I remember what it's called? Yeah, someone will know in the chat. We all went for a drink there last time. Do you think Connor will run more than 5k? I don't know, says Ethan. How are we playing more attractive attacking football without Amad or Garnacho? Also 39 months, says V. Because the opposition's not that good. Konzo can run a 6k, always stops at 5, says Ethan. Is it Dublin, Ohio or Dublin, Ireland? Ireland's banana. Busker's bar, that's what it was. Or was it Bruxelles? It was Bruxelles. It was definitely Bruxelles. Hi, Mark. Just finished work. I'm from Galway. When did you say the Dublin show is? Love to meet for a drink. 19th of March, Paul. If we were to sign an attacker in January, any ideas who we'd go for? I thought it'd be Dorgeles from Salzburg, but it's gone quiet, says Robble. Look, if Tell's going to Spurs, that's the only other player I can think we could go for. Hans, I'm well. Hope you're doing well. David says, I used to agree with you that we need to be in Europe, but I'm starting to warm to the idea of being out of it next year to allow Amorim more training time. The trouble with that, David, is, thanks for your super chat, I do agree with you in the sense that it would give more training time, but we would probably have to sell Mainu because we would lose a lot of money by not being in Europe. And I know that's cynical, but it's true. We can't afford not to be in Europe. It's even the Europa League, 8 games, into the latter stages, it's tens of millions of pounds that we absolutely need. In an idealistic world, yes. Please shout out Ben Smith, my son, big Goldbridge fan, says Phil Smith. Big shout out to Ben. Hope you're doing well. Would you take your son at United, says Ben? You clearly don't watch the show, do you? We've already been. We took him for his first time in autumn, Brentford. AJ, thank you very much for that. Connor says, I love the show, but I think Mainu's overrated. He's not had a great season, but in a more attacking position, it does suit him. He's still only 19 as well. Big up United stand, 3-0 incoming, says MUFC. And Justin's 46 tomorrow, off to Portsmouth for a weekend Friday, going to Fratton Park to watch Burnley. Love that, Justin. Love that, hardcore. Zaki says, can I give someone ticket for Dublin show? Me being in Australia, impossible to make it. Zaki, it's a very nice gesture, but we don't have the technology to do that, unfortunately. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to start. Abdi Rahman on TikTok, thanks for the follow, and William as well. It's funny in the chat, there's a few people having a go at Rasmus. No service again, but actually put a chance for Mainu on a plate with a lovely assist. So really, I know this team might not be that good, but he's actually done all right. And he got on to the end of that, nearly scored. Imagine if he'd scored that. I don't know whether he should have done better here. It was good hold-up play. Martinez put the cross in. I just don't know whether... no fucking replay. It's hard. I felt he could have done a little bit better, but I'd have to see it again because when the ball's that high, it's about how much neck muscle... Here we go. It's good movement. So it's Martinez again. Yeah, I think he could have done a little bit better there. it's difficult to get power on it, but can you just get it bottom corner a little bit? Martinez is our most creative player, though, isn't he? He seems to be the only player that can see a pass. Which is a good thing, but also a little bit of a concern. Scores in the other game. Ajax still beating Galatasaray, which is good. I didn't look at... Who are Bodo Glimt playing? We need to keep an eye on them. They're playing Nice. Oh, Sir Jim Radcliffe, come on. Just do us a job. They're the only teams I'm worried about. Nice and Bodo Glimt and Galatasaray, because if they win and we lose, we're in the qualifiers. But as things are at the moment, we're doing okay. Although, having said that, that's not strictly true, because there's still teams in the top 8 that would have to beat us as well. Lyon and Tottenham. If Lyon, Tottenham, Galatasaray and Bodo Glimt win and we lose, we're out of the top 8. It's as simple as that. Well, Galatasaray are losing. Bodo Glimt are drawing. We're not losing. Lyon are drawing. And Spurs are drawing against Santa's little helper, Elfsborg. Family Channel says Rasmus is actually getting some service. Mark, biggest threat in Europe, says Alec. Well, that's probably Lazio, isn't it? I'd say. Do you think Lika will do well in the midfield, says Mrs. Stone? No, I think Martinez. This is a good question, because some people would say, well, Martinez is the most creative player. Why would you not put him in the midfield? But we're playing a back 3. We don't want to play a back 3 that becomes a back 5. Look at how deep Malacia is at the moment, and we're playing 3 centre-backs as well. So Martinez stepping out of the back 4, back 5 to make it a midfielder actually helps us. Come on, move the ball a bit better. Bit quicker. Terrible ball by Delo. Do you think Olympia is a great spot, Mark, but I'd avoid Temple Bar over tenner a pint, says Marty. Do you watch the overlap? If yes, do you think it's an overkill with all the United special guests, says Chiv? I don't. I watch it a little bit, but I've got to be honest, I was appalled by it today. I think the high point was when Roy Keane was describing that Lewis Skelly red card and basically said he could have broke his ankle. And I thought, mate, I love Roy Keane. He's my favourite player. But Roy Keane sort of justifying the red card of Lewis Skelly on he could have broke his ankle. I'm like, Roy, come on, mate. How many tackles have I seen you do? Much better from Rasmus, says Ash. People need patience with young players. Meno and Garnacho have been through how many managers? Hard to develop when they have different styles, says Michael Fetty. Thank you very much. I think Ian Wright's probably the best one on there at the moment. Gary said he was going to do 10 new things for his 50th. Coming on the United stand for a proper chat with Mark should be one of the 10 things. He won't do it, mate. Trust me. Swami, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. A good glass of Merlot from Chile. Cheers, Mark, says Tiz. Come on, let's get this first goal here. Bounty Hunter's wee lad is 9 months old today. How's the game? It is what it is, really. Who do you think we should sign come next season, says DX. This team needs Kent, Hansen and Bird. I need to get that back, Abir. I need to finish that. I need to finish what I've started. Why are we so bad at keeping hold of the ball high on the pitch, says Stig? We have the ball in our own half. Everything goes slow. I think it's intrinsic to what we are. We've just done it for so long. You're trying to... If I said to you, if every morning you brush your teeth with your right hand, and I said to you, the best way to do it is with your left, but you've been doing it with your right for years, it's hard. And I think that United have been so crap against a low block for years that you can't just change it. It will take time. Clement says, I like the way Martinez is pushing. Dino says, would you take Tal on loan with a view to a permanent move? Harry McGrail, welcome to the, thank you for the follow. Can we do a big shout out to Jake Johnson's for his 30th, says Sean. Well, here's a big shout out for Jake Johnson and his 30th. There you go. Happy birthday. Here's Mainu. Terrible cross. Apparently Tell might be going to Spurs, so we might have been thrown a bit of a red herring there. Thoughts on Connor going for 5 instead of 6, says Ethan. I don't know what that's all about. Have you heard Phil Thompson say he doesn't think Amorim will last past the end of the season? They're just shit pundits, Goldio. And you know what? I think some of these pundits have got no concept about the modern world, like TikTok or YouTube or Twitter. They don't understand it. So what they think they need to do is say stupid things that will make them more credible. But what they don't realise is TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Football fans are educated, and you're not gonna grow by saying stupid things. But it's almost like, you can just imagine Phil Thompson there with Jeff Stelling having a chat. Yeah, we've got to get big on this TikTok thing. I'm thinking I'll just say something like, Amorim will be gone by the end of the season and they'll all love me. Yeah, good one, Phil. Give it a go. Have you, thank you though, Goldio. Thank you very much for that. Ever tried reaching out Roy Keane to interview him? That'd be amazing. We did, Chiv. We reached out to Roy Keane a few years ago, and the fee, that's exactly what I did. I was like, what? If it was, I'd take a loan to interview Roy Keane, but that, I'd have had to remortgage my house. It was incredible. So, but look, these guys are, I liked Wayne being honest and supporting Ian. Every word Gary and Roy said was like a PR machine for referees, says Sheehan. I don't know why they were backing the referee. Overlap is not Sky, although it is sponsored by Sky Bet. I suppose don't bite the hand that feeds you. Just started watching. How have we played, says Alex. Scrap it. Look, I think the problem with this is, under Sir Alex, in the Champions League, we'd go away and play like this. We'd get the point away and we'd win the home games. So, in that sense, this is not a low. This is not, like, terrible. Like, Sir Alex used to do this all the time in his last 10 years. Away from home, keep it tight, grind the game down, take a point. And that's exactly what's happening here. It's another wonderful ball by Martinez in behind to Malacia. He won't cross it. Oh, fuck it. How do you lose the ball? He's won a free kick. Or was he offside? He was offside. He's useless. But I also don't know how good FCSB are as well. So it's difficult to sort of like say, we should be doing better, we should be doing worse. United are the only team to stand still with the ball pointing at each other, says Brendan. Apparently, for 10 minutes in training every day, Harry Maguire teaches that bit. He's the best at it, so he teaches everyone to put your foot on the ball and point. You're doing it wrong. Jill Scott is a fox, says Rich. Look, everybody likes different things. We've been starved of a natural left back, so I think Dorgu will be a breath of fresh air, says Robble. Oh, mate, even in this game, I can see what Dorgu will do. Like, there's been lots of opportunities down the left-hand side. Would you take João Felix if Chelsea got Garnacho, says Ivor. Mate, that's like me being served up a lovely steak and chips that's fresh and absolutely brilliant, and somebody walking over and going, I've ate half this chicken burger, it's a bit cold, and it's had my mouth all around it, let's swap. No, let's not, thanks. I'm sure it was a nice chicken burger when it came out fresh, but I don't want that, thanks. United are the only team done that, from Brandon. Thank you, Chiv. Love Mazraoui's attitude wherever he's played, always happy to put a shift in, says Isaac. Alex Carroll just asked about how we've played. Mohammed says we're a better team when Ericsson plays, tempo is higher. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Thanks everyone who subscribed on YouTube, by the way. We have hit 31,000 up there, by the way. So thank you everyone. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. I mean, from Amorim's point of view, you'd be quite happy. FCSB really haven't had any chances. I mean, they had that chance, but they were all offside anyway. We've had the better chances. And whilst they're not a bad team, I think, look, there's always jeopardy when you're not winning. Quintino says, let's pray FCSB score for Mark's reaction. Let's not. Mark, Manan's knees have better movement than this team. Malacia is terrible, says Sean Dunn. Look, I tweeted it an hour before the game when I saw the team. I was in the bath, relaxing. I saw the team come out. I grabbed my phone and I went, hey ho. That team lacks pace and flair. And it does. Without an Ahmad or a Garnacho, or dare I even say it, oh my God, Malacia. He's so bad. Well done, Collier. Malacia is. If I speak, he's really bad. I feel sorry for him. He's so far out of his depth. He's just not. He's probably a championship left back, isn't he? If we're being completely honest. What's the process of actually getting into the press conference? Shout out to Beth, says Chiv. I don't deal with all of that, mate. And we are the big. To be fair, I don't deal with all that lot, but it's we are by a very long way the biggest United fan community in the world, and we by a very long way have a much bigger audience than even like the Manchester Evening News. So we should be in there every bloody week, in my opinion. So confused why you never read my super chat, says Abdu. Just did. Malacia looks like a retired footballer, Mario Franco. Thank you very much for that. You don't need to be confused, mate. It's a watch along. If you want to get read out, I would say do an 8 o'clock show, because on a watch along, we have tens of thousands of people watching. It's whizzing through, and there's a match going on. And as I've always said, I tried to read well over 90% of them, but some of them will slip through. It just happens. Out of topic, but was happily surprised to see who the top scorer for the French league is, says Mrs. Stone. Tell us. I'm saying Jonathan David or Mason Green. It would be Mason Greenwood. Malacia finally puts a cross in. And it was off. There was an offside anyway. You see, that's the problem. He puts a good cross in and no one's expecting it because it's him. Need to see that back again. Oh, we won't get a replay on it. JMC, thanks for the follow on TikTok. And Saul as well. Mike JBA has just gifted a membership on YouTube as well. I've got something to show you. Let me show you. This apparently is going to show you who Man United could be playing. I think. See what it does. So as things stand at the moment, we'd be on the same side of the draw as Lyon and Tottenham. That's interesting. I mean, I know it's convoluted because we don't know who we'd play in the round of 16 yet, because the players have got to go. But as things stand, we couldn't play Tottenham in the final then. We'd play them in the semi-finals potentially. I think I'm right in saying that. I don't know. That's how it looks anyway at the moment. Thanks to Fotmob for that. Someone in the chat will know more than me. Most people. Malacia, more like Malast on the team sheet, says I'm an Eagle. Not your best work. Spencer Silvertower says, has Delo completely clocked out? I don't recognise him anymore. I mean, this is a fair point, Spencer. I mean, what did happen to Delo? 3 minutes of added time here. What did happen to Delo? Love all you do. Let's hope United win. Shout out to my friend Emric, who is watching you from Germany. Shout out to Emric from Sunny there. We're just a rubbish team, says Callum. Come on. Come on, Callum. Stop sucking on a lemon. The fruit. Lemon is a fruit. Come on, mate. I literally gave you the keys a few minutes ago. We used to play like this away from home under Sir Alex. Going away in Europe, there's not many times in the last 30 years in group stages we've played well away from home. We're also not a very good team anyway. So it's hard after 45 minutes to start saying we're shit, we're shit, we're shit. We've got a good manager. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. But I don't know how good FCSB are as well. I think you've been a little bit disrespectful to them. We're just a rubbish team, says Callum anyway. Malasia, open the front door and let them in, says Doylers. I find it funny that Keane, the guy who used to run after referees for lesser mistakes than Michael Oliver, is now virtue signaling. I don't know. Goldio, I genuinely do not know what Keano was doing today. I expect it of Gary Neville because he's got more fingers in more pies than a baker. But for Roy Keane to be sort of, oh, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. It was a red card for Arsenal. That was the interpretation I took as well. I was like, who's had a chat with them and told them to do this? Because Roy Keane was a dirty tackler and it was great. And he used to always get in referees' faces as well. So I didn't really understand what he was on about today. I really didn't. Mike JBA's gifted a membership. Malasia is like the kid who always wants to come football training smiling but never got picked. He's terrible, says Sean Dunn. And Malcolm II says Malasia is not it. Here's Martinez. It's a lovely run, but he's overran it. And that's gone out for a goal kick. How are we playing, says Just Jack. Come see, come sir. Shahin says, I think we just overplayed Delo. And 13 of York's 66 goals were headers crossed by Beckham. Every time a few legends, problem with us, we all of them at once years ago. Unreal, says Parker. TikTok user says, Watkins to Arsenal, will his dreams finally come true? How can Aston Villa leave themselves in a position where they sell both their strikers? I mean, surely not. What do you think about Bruno? Average tonight? Good? Below average? Lewis Bradley, Mark, it's my birthday. Hopefully United can carry on. Good day. Happy birthday, Lewis. I like Delo, but we should have cashed in on him, says Sean. Roy likes to be a contrarian, says Patrick Lynch. Rex, wow, thank you very much for your super chat. Dark Moon on TikTok says I'd give Bruno a 6. Well, it's half time. Let us know your thoughts on that half. I'm going to get the stats up for you as well. I'll also give you all the half times, but at the moment we're absolutely fine. Let's have a quick look at that. Well, there you can see we are in 4th place with that draw at the moment. So everything is as it should be. Statistically, this is how we're looking. We've had 69% possession, 3 shots on target. We should be 1-0 up. Mainu should have scored from that cutback from Rasmus. We should be 1-0 up, but I wouldn't say we should be resoundingly 1-0 up. I mean, they've not done a lot. And pass completion, 90%. We've moved the ball around a lot, and we've moved the ball around quite well. What I would say is that this is why I always say it's the eye test, not the stats test, because if you weren't watching the game, you'd say, wow, 70% possession, 90% pass accuracy. Oh, we're cooking. Amorim ball's nearly here. But I would say I've watched the game and say, that's not indicative of chance creation and pressure. That's indicative of moving the ball around safely, slowly, passing it side to side. And that's the problem with stats. That looks very appealing, but actually it's just somebody controlling the game with possession. We're not in any trouble, but we're not creating many chances as well. I think there's a real lack of, as I said before the game, I think there's a real lack of flair and speed in the team. I saw it before the game when the team came out, and I can see it here now. Oh, sorry, I wasn't with you there. I'm just gonna have a bit of a stand up. Yeah, I can see it now. There's it's rather easy for FCSB because there's not a lot of movement. Obviously, if you've got Xerxes up front or you've got Rasmus up front, they're going to be moving around. But there's the fullbacks on. Deleu's doing. I can't emphasise enough how it's hard to score when you've got Malacia and Deleu providing no width in a back five. I mean, that's the first thing I would say. We're playing a back five against a team that we've got 70%. We've got 70% possession, and our wide players need to be wingers. This is the problem that we have with the Amorim system, is that those wide players need to be able to attack. And we're basically playing a back five. Deleu is doing nothing going forward on the natural side, and Malacia is doing nothing on his natural side. So the whole Amorim's not going to play a back four, and he shouldn't play a back four. But we're basically playing 5 defenders against a team that's no threat. And therefore, you've got Rasmus up front, who is a bit isolated. You've got Bruno and Eriksson, who've got no pace. You've got no width. So you're very reliant on Mainu, really. It's Mainu and Rasmus to provide the movement. And that's not enough against what is effectively a low block. So if I'm looking at this, I'm looking at how do I get some width? How do I get somebody to actually go forward and stay forward? Like, Deleu should just be I'm surprised with Deleu. He really should just be really high up the pitch. Mazraoui, as a right-sided centre-back, is a right-back, so he can step across easily. Deleu should be up that pitch all the time. I understand Malacia is a bit of a waste of space because he's just not that good, but to not have any high attacking width in this game is an issue. But look, having said that, some people are saying we're shit, this, that, and the other. As I said before in the game, I've seen Sir Alex Ferguson in his last 10 years. He almost mastered the group stage of the Champions League. You win your home games, you draw your away games, you qualify. And many times under Sir Alex, I know it was the Champions League and not the Europa League, but look, we were winning titles then. We're in the bottom half of the league now. But this is a very similar type of performance away from home. You go Feyenoord, you go FCSB, you keep it tight. It's quite a dull watch, but, you know, I think that it's not as bad as some people make out. Defensively, we look strong. There is a lot of rotation in that team as well. I mean, it's not what Liverpool did against PSV last night, but Collier, Eriksson, Bruno and Mainu as the creative element centrally doesn't massively work for me. But look, I'd still fancy us to win it in the second half. Rex says, bit random, what red wine are you drinking? I'm on a Malbec and it's called the Watchmaker. I've got it in a Christmas, not in a cracker, calendar. The product of 3 specially selected family-run vineyards in the Mendoza region of Argentina. And funnily enough, it's an Argentinian who's been our best player. It must be a coincidence. Martinez, 100%. Really like what Martinez brings to the team. I've been talking about this for a couple of games now. There are elements of Martinez's game which is vulnerable, and we've seen that at times, even this season. Defensively, he can look vulnerable. But in a team like this, and if you think about Ajax would be a team that predominantly has possession and has 75% of possession as well. So Martinez comes into his own when he can step out at the back. And in the last few games, we've seen that more and more. And I think if we can transition into a more of a possession-based team, Martinez comes into his own. He's the best creative player in that team. He sees the runs, he sees the passes. He put the cross onto Rasmus's head. He put the ball into Rasmus for the cutback to Mainu, where we should have scored. Our best creative player is Martinez, and I think he deserves a shout-out. Player of the season so far, says Swag Ahmad. How you became so good at pronouncing Indian names, says Vinayak. I don't know, probably years of announcing them, I don't know. Amorim once said in an interview that Delo is used to cutting inside. He now has to stay more wider and still have to adapt, says Andre. Mark, shout out to my wife Kelly. She surprised me with tickets to your show, says Stephen. She's the best wife ever. You know what? We had a few people say that tonight. There's a lot of couples coming, which is great. Get the demographic up. What was Malacia like before the injury, says Bomber. Good. I think he was a bit better than this, but I mean, he wasn't great. I think he was okay, but I think he was better than this. Team's hard to watch, says Jide. Roy likes to have done that one for Patrick Lynch as well. Would you make any changes at half-time? No. I mean, they're just showing this Malacia thing here. Why does he not put the cross in? What is he fucking doing? Idiot. Anyway, no, I wouldn't make any changes at half-time. I mean, ultimately, Amorim has picked this team because he wants to rest people for Sunday. So we're drawing 0-0. We've had the better chances. I wouldn't change it now. But Dorgu's in the Lecce squad. What? No, I wouldn't change it now. But I'd certainly be looking at... obviously, you could bring Xerxes on up front. That's obvious. I think Garnacho and Ahmad in a game like this would give us a little bit more as well. Is there anything we could do out wide? I mean, you could put Ahmad where Delo is as well. Yeah, there's a few things we could do. Just in relation to the group stage at the moment, powered by Fotmob. Don't forget to download Fotmob and give it a go. All your stats, it's got heat maps, scores, updates, transfer news. Fantastic app. Give it a go for free. Links in the description, or scan the QR code. They've also enabled us to be able to do this sort of thing as well, which we've shown you at half time. Let me just have a look at the playoff draw as things look at the moment. We're not in that playoff draw at the moment because you've got to be 9th to 24th, but we could drop into that. But as you can see, it would be Rangers or Bodo Glimt playing the 23rd or 24th team, and that's very similar to Champions League. Big shout out to the Fotmob for that, and their link up with us today. Make sure you give it a download. But in relation to the league, which Fotmob are powering for us as well, we are not top of the league, but nice to sing that one day. We are currently in 4th place, but we're drawing. So if Lyon, Tottenham win, Galatasaray and Bodo Glimt win, and we lose, we'd be dropping out. Don't worry about Anderlecht because they're winning. They can't go any higher than that, and their goal difference isn't as good as ours either. So Galatasaray are losing to Ajax, which is good for us. Spurs aren't winning either. That's 0-0. Who was the other one I mentioned? Bodo Glimt. I think they're drawing as well to Nice. And there was one other I mentioned as well. Was it Lyon? Lyon are drawing as well. So none of the teams that would need to win to knock us out of the top 8 if we lose are actually winning. So we're fine. And I'm sure Amorim's aware of that as well. So even if we lose, we're probably going to get in the top 8. So does he need to make subs, really? Do you think he really gives a shit? I think he's probably looking at Palace and going, can I keep people like Garnacho and Ahmad fresh for that game? Do I need to be bringing them on at the moment? Should have started Connor left back. He runs a good 5k. Ethan, I don't know what this is all about. Do you think Martinez would suit the pivot? No. Notorious. I've said this before. Why would you move Martinez into the midfield when he's doing the job of the left-sided 3 perfectly? He's stepping into the midfield already. Why would you put him in the pivot? Because then you'd need another centre-back that can do what Martinez is doing. In Australia, Mark Bosnich does the first half analysis. It's painful, says Cameron. Can we convince Chelsea to buy Delo instead of Garnacho, says Dom, or Saudi? Can we get Malacia to Saudi for 90 million? I tell you what, that'd be a good deal. I'll be in them. Delo needs to go whilst there's still talent, says Keel. Stephen says, always sideways and backwards, zero creativity in that midfield. The wing backs are ineffective at creating. It's a hard watch, says Stephen. Mate, you've got to get width. You've got to get width into that team. Clinton Raz on TikTok. Thanks for all the follows there. Appreciate that. Kaz as well, and Matthew. Legends. Where did you get your glasses from? I can't remember the glasses shop I went to, actually. If we were sponsored by them, I would, but I can't remember. Lewis Williams, I'd be lying if I said it was Specsavers, because it definitely wasn't. Lewis Williams says, Neville acts as if you farted on his cereal. Draw suits both teams, says G. Decent 45 minutes, but I'd love to see some goals, says Yechi. Amorim tactics are boring. He's overrated, says Cats for Life. And Cad's crew says, I don't get this team. Why don't the fullbacks just push up and put some crosses in? Delo. And Alan Z says, Amorim is using Martinez as a playmaker instead of Bruno. With a proper left winger, this can be really scary. Rasmus making runs, but still too static. And Jack says, I hope you're well. How do you think Collier is doing? He was born in the same town as me in Sussex. Love the fact he's starting in Europe, says Jack. I think Collier is potential, but he's not potential like people think. And what I mean by that is that he is not 18 or 19. I think he's actually 21. He was 21 this month. So that's not as young as people think with Collier. He's a little bit older than I think some people would think. That's not old, but the time is now. If Collier fell out of the team again and next season he's not in the team, he's 22 in January next year. So it's a big season for him. And I like him. I think he's got a lot of capabilities, and I think that this next few months are really important for him. This is why wingers are important. They drive the team forward, says Yelex. And this is why when we got Amorim and people were talking about wing-backs, I said he doesn't use wing-backs. He uses wingers, but he hasn't got enough wingers here. And this is the problem with a 3-4-3 when you use full-backs in the wide positions, because it drifts into a 5. It drifts into a 5, and that's exactly what's happening, and it's hard to be creative then. Commentator is right. Bruno can see a lot of the opportunities and openings to create a chance, but his teammates can't, unfortunately. They're not on the same levels as LMP. Caleb says that Malacia on the left is weak. Can totally see Dorgo injecting something. I mean, look, dare I say it, if Luke Shaw was fit, it would make a big difference. Connor says, we're crying out for wing-backs who can beat a man. Mainu is average, yet English fans are crying, says Sulai. And they can't play or pass fast enough for their lives, says Samarth. Rather watch paint dry, says John Boy. No need for Horlicks after that, says Connor. And why hasn't Delo developed a left foot after playing there for 2 years, says Nathan. Mate, don't get me started on why people can't be two-footed. I was doing some football with Seb the other day, and I was telling him to shoot off his left foot, and he was like, I don't want to. Well, I made him do it. Not in a bad way, I just said try it. He scored a goal with his left foot, and then he wouldn't stop shooting with his left foot, and that's what it is. It's encouragement. It's encouragement. And I don't understand why professional footballers don't learn to play with their left foot. I mean, you come and play five-a-side with me, or you watch me play football. I might not be the best anymore, but I still will open my body up and lose a left-footed pass if it's on, because that's how I was taught. I was taught to be two-footed. I'm not a pro, but even as a pub footballer, I could play two-footed because that's what I was taught to do. At any level, you should be two-footed, in my opinion. There's no reason not to do it. Laziness, I don't know. There's just no reason not to be two-footed. And I tell you what, when I was playing football properly, I could shoot better with my left. I could pass better with my right. But my right was probably my stronger foot. But when you're running around, I wasn't Anthony, let's put it that way. If the ball was there to be won with my left foot. And the thing about being left-footed as well is, it's not just passing. It's not just passing. You then tackle. No one ever talks about this. But if you are one-footed, you know Anthony, Ahmad's on for Collier at half-time, so he's brought Ahmad on, which is... Is that a bit harsh on Collier at half-time there? Garnacho's on as well. Well, he obviously wants to win it. This will make a lot of difference now. Collier, Garnacho for Malacia. Yeah, well, that's... I feel a bit bad for Collier going off. Maybe he's got a bit of a knock. I think he did, didn't he? You don't want to be coming off with Malacia, but let's put it that way. But you know what? You know, you talk about being two-footed. It's not just being able to pass and feeling comfortable with your weak foot. It's being able to tackle with your weak foot. Once you know how to use your weak foot to shoot and pass, you also know how to tackle. So Anthony is a good example. He can't do anything with his right foot except stand, and he can't tackle with it either. But if he could use his right foot, he can tackle. So it's another element of your game. It's defensive as well. So Delo is weak on his left-hand side with his foot, but also being shown inside. Collier was holding his shoulder. Yes, you're right. He was, wasn't he? Good point. Good point. Would you rather us win by a big Harry 90th minute winner or Bruno edge of the box screamer, says Huge Lad? I don't really care. Honestly, I don't. King Louis says, thank you, Mark. You will never realise how much your content helps people like me get through the day. Have a pint on me. Thanks, King Louis. Don't forget to check out Driving with Goldbridge, by the way. Something a little bit different. Just type it in. Cliver and Mbuma would be class for us, says MUFC for life. Goal! Oh, he's at the post. Garnacho. Fucking hell. I thought he'd scored. Would have been a great start. He should score. He definitely should score. But we'll give him credit. He's only just come off the bench. Hits the post. The defence we have now compared to a year ago is miles better, says LMP. If Ineos did the same with the midfield or attack, we'd be really pleased with the squad, says LMP. Mate, the defence last year was a bloody nightmare with all the injuries, wasn't it? Malassia's quality is giving me off QPR vibes, says Steve. Well, I said Championship. Italian News says Dorgu plays tomorrow as a goodbye, says Chris. Why do we allow this? This happened with somebody as well. Bruno was doing this, wasn't he, in January when we bought him? Why do we allow that? I mean, I don't understand why that's happening. Oh, yeah, playing a game as a goodbye. Oh, I broke my leg. Fucking hell. Should have started Connor, done that. Amelia says, do you think, doesn't read them on the... Okay, you're a liar and you can go. I don't understand, says Lord Farquhar, why Ericsson is on the team. I think he's done all right. Curtis hates Sharks. Corner to United. Ahmad with the cross. It's in! Oh! It's given a foul. It wasn't in. It was a corner. Amelia got deleted because it's just complete and utter bollocks. Basically, everything gets read out on an 8 o'clock show because there ain't that many of them. So just sometimes people will do a super chat and some people get really, oh, they've done a super chat, you should read it out. It's a red flag. It's an open goal to a troll. People just think I hate this community. It's worth spending a little bit of money to try and cause trouble. So off your pop. Wan-Bissaka had... Okay, we're not going to do that. Do you think is winning the Europa League apart from your team? I'm sort of stuck, Neptune, aren't I now, with Man United are going to win the Europa League because I did say it. But I didn't say it from a... Well, how do you say it? I said it from a point of view that... Oh, Garnacho, if he'd won that first time... Surely we're going to get some goals here. Ahmad's playing right wing back, by the way. I mentioned that at half time. Mainu's still playing in an advanced position. It's Mainu and Garnacho behind Rasmus, and it's Ahmad on the right hand side. Mrs. Stone says, Mark reads all my chats and most of them are silly. Corner to FCSB. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. Sleepy John, thanks for the follow on TikTok. Legends on there. Just what the hell? There we go. Right, don't concede here. Nothing happens with the corner. We love you, Mark, says Ronaldinho. Thank you very much, mate. Can you call Isak for the piss master after certain events at New Year? And have you ever met someone with a Spursy personality like my mate Liam, says Eric. What? Hi, do you think Dorgu will be... Hi, do you think Dorgu will be able to settle in fast as Nexo? Mate, I think he'll settle in very fast for this simple reason. Watching Malacia in that first 45 minutes and watching Delo at left back this season, the bar is really low. So this is really good for Dorgu. I think if you're coming in and you're replacing prime Lionel Messi in a team, it's not a good thing. If you're coming in and you're replacing Malacia and Delo, you might only be as good as Crystal Palace's left back, but you'll look as good as prime Roberto Carlos. So, yeah. Can you... Amelia's intellectual husband is crying now, says Robo96. I didn't even read that bit because I just thought that's just mocking. It's a troll. It's 100% a troll. I've played the game. I've done it for 10 years. Ignore it. Macy says, say hi. There we go. Briley says we should be winning comfortably. Mike JBA says, I'm happy we've got a bit of pace in the second half. Garnacho on. Is he staying after all or a calculated risk by Amorim? Amorim wants Garnacho to stay. If he didn't want him to stay, he wouldn't be picking him because he could get injured. Dorgu's not having his medical until the weekend, so he won't be playing against Palace. Maybe Spurs, maybe Leicester next week. Here's a chance for United to put a cross in. It's not a very good one, but Martinez works it on its way and then back post. Delete. Can't get his head on it. Other games at the moment, as you can see, we sit in the top. Bodo Glimt have scored. Now that's interesting. Bodo Glimt have scored. That puts them in to the top 6. If we were to lose, we would drop down to 15. But at the moment, that would put us down to... That's interesting. That's interesting. Don't change the page. Just to add a little bit of tension, if we were losing, we'd be on 15 points. That would put us behind Bodo Glimt. That would put us behind Tottenham. And that would put us behind FCSB. So we'd go down to 8th place if we conceded at the moment. Yeah? We'd be on 15 points with a +4. The only team that can cause us any problems would be Galatasaray if they were to win. Because Real Sociedad, Ajax and Anderlecht and Rangers are already winning. So we could go down to 8th, but Galatasaray are losing to Ajax. So we're still all right. Even if we lose, we're still going to be in 8th place at the moment. It's only Galatasaray that could change that, and they're losing themselves. The funny thing is, guess who Bodo Glimt are beating? Fucking Nice, who are owned by Sir Jim Radcliffe. Can't even do us a favour there. Limit says, hi Mark, watch you all the time. Love what you do. Thanks, mate. Pranky Bug, welcome to the Members Club. Someone like Ericsson wouldn't be bad if we had proper attacking threats on the wing backs. I agree. You just need more pace in the team. Edward Winders just gifted 10 memberships, by the way. Remember, we've got our Dublin show, 10-year show, 2 million show in Dublin on March the 19th. Tickets go on general release tomorrow, but if you're a member, you can get your tickets tonight. It's on the community tab on the homepage. Jazzy Joe, welcome to the Members Club. Oaksy says, stop being terrified to criticise your boy Rasmus because you managed to interview him. Mate, all right, I'll throw this back to you, yeah? I don't really understand what you're talking about, but I think you listen to morons on social media because Rasmus just had a shot on target. Over the last 2 weeks have given Rasmus really low scores and said he's playing badly. So I don't know where you're getting your information up from about being terrified to criticise him, because I've given him low scores and said he's been shit for the last 2 weeks. So I don't actually know where you're getting it from. I think it's people on social media who are desperate to build a career by lying about me instead of just staying in their own lane. Because I got sent something yesterday from an aggregator account who's now started doing YouTube stuff, who was talking about this sort of thing. But I'm not interested in them. And I would advise you to stop listening to them, because they're obsessed with the United stand and they don't watch it. I've given Rasmus shit scores for 2 weeks because he's playing shit. I don't do Player FC or Agenda. And whilst we did have an interview a year ago, it was a year ago. We haven't had one since. And I don't think we'll be doing one again. So he ain't playing very well again. And he'll be getting another low score from me. So I don't know what you're talking about. But I'll stand up for this community and the integrity of it, because I'm a little bit bored of people making up lies about agendas and stuff, because I factually, if you go through the last 4 match reactions, I've given him a low score. I'd love him to do well, but he ain't playing well, is he? Not playing well. I'd give him a 5. He's not playing well. It's just what it is. And I can see that. And the stupid thing is, I've been doing this for 10 years, which is why we're doing a 10-year show in Dublin. My 2 favourite players, Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial, for years. Was I sticking up for them last season? Am I sticking up for Rashford now? Am I bollocks? Because the only thing that matters is Manchester United. The only thing I will say is, whether it's Xerxes, Rasmus or anybody else, the service has never been that good at United, and it's never going to be good with the lack of width and the slow tempo. Carl says, what's your opinion on Mainu? He's cooking at 10. I'd give him a 6, mate, actually. Ajax are now 2-0 up against Galatasaray, so we're going through no matter what. We're not going to finish outside the top 8 no matter what now. We can't not. I just don't think it's possible. If we were losing, we'd be on 15 points. And, well, FCSB are not in at the moment. What? FCSB are not in. What's that all about? What's this scenario I'm seeing? How has that happened? Olympiakos. Hold the door. Hold the door. Game of Thrones, hold the door. Goldbridge has messed up. Right, that's thrown a cat amongst the pigeons. If FCSB are not in there when they're drawing, that means if they were winning, we'd go down to 15 points and we'd be out. But I've got that wrong then. Apologies. It's complicated, but if FCSB score and we're losing, Bruno's just hit the bar with a thunderbolt of a shot, by the way. Yeah, we can drop out. If we lose, we're out at the moment. If we lose, we're playing a qualifier. We're not playing HSBC, Lee. Very good joke. Goal! Delo! Shut up, haters! Delo has just scored a goal for Manchester United. He's touching his vein in his neck. And Man United lead 1-0. And I didn't see it because I was too busy worrying about that table. But it won't matter now. United are winning and will therefore be heading into the final 16 without playing a qualifier. And I haven't seen the goal myself yet because I was looking at the league table. I was getting worried about Olympiakos. I needn't have bothered. Look, Delo's got the passion. He just hasn't got the talent at the moment. Hey, Mainu with the cross. Delo with the goal. Good goal. Good goal. I was just saying about Mainu. Right, I'll give him a 7 now. Lovely cross. Delo gambles. Left foot. He has got a left foot. Good cross by Mainu, that. And fair play. Delo getting forward. You know, it's not that difficult, is it? Wide players get attack. Would Malacia in the first half have been that high up for a cross? No. The wide players in the wide players in Amorim's system have got to get forward. And if they don't get forward, the system becomes static. Right, we should get more goals now. We're up to 3rd. FCSB are going to play the qualifier. They're in 10th. It's not our problem. We can't feel guilty. Mainu says, Carl, at least we have a decent defence. That's something, says M. Parker. How better are the refs here than in the Prem, says Misho. Sakin has just gifted 5 members, 5 memberships as well. If Nice get knocked out tonight, can we sign players from them? Because they'll technically be out. Any players you rate? No, Tadebo's gone, the beast. He went to West Ham, didn't he? When will we ever clear the Deadwood, says Matt. Garnacho. Play on. Mainu. Good play. Good feet. Anderlecht is losing, says Sebastian. Edward Winder says, see Amelia, that's how you spend £50. What are your thoughts on Ineos under 23 policy? I feel like the youngsters are leadership. Think about Cantona for the 92 land, says Andres. Yeah, but you've got potentially Bruno. Nice ball in. Garnacho can't get there. Date Mike has gifted 5 memberships. And Mohammed Idris, thank you, Date Mike. Absolute legend. It is my birthday on Monday. I'll be 40. I'm hoping United will give me a nice present with a win tonight, says Mohammed. Well, there's Palace on Sunday, mate, that could ruin that. Amorim used inverted wingers at right wing back at Sporting. So do you see Dorgu playing off the right or mostly uses a left wing back? We'll have to wait and see, Robble. FCSB are on the attack here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It should be 1-1. What a hit. Hits the underside of the bar. Could have been a Lampard moment, but it didn't go over the line. But the best bit is absolute stunning shot from the edge of the box. Hits the underside of the bar. Bounces out to a Bucharest player who heads it wide. What a prat. What a shot, though. This deserved to be a goal, to be fair. I mean, I don't want him to score, but what a hit. Left foot. Look at this. No, it didn't go in. But how's he missed that? Fucking hell. It bounces to him on the 6-yard box, central, and he heads it wide. Should have been 1-1. Warning. Where do you see Delo fitting in once Dorgu starts, says K-Ray? A bit of rotation, mate. A bit of rotation, you know. Mazraoui can play right centre-back. Lovely play. Lovely play. Garnacho. Garnacho. It's just that final ball, isn't it? David's gifted a membership. Mark Gray, welcome to the Members Club. Perfect time to request for Delo, says Keel Robinson. Callum says, should go to the games, mate. Yeah, mate. I run the biggest Manchester United community in the world. We've been doing it for 10 years. We're all really happy with what we do. You stay in your lane. I'll stay in mine. I don't know why people get obsessed with what I do with my life. Live your own. You only get one. Nice ball into Martinez. He's coming forward again. Really probably should have passed there. Good play, Garnacho. Overhit the cross. Could be 3 wins in a row, says Joe. Yeah, I mean, look, it'd be a good thing. Thanks for the follow, Zara. I think that's a good cross by Garnacho. It's just got too much power on it. What a hit that was by Bucharest. I mean, Tanaz, what a miss. Andre Spramer, 1990 World Cup semi-final free kick v England, left foot penalty in final, right foot. Jason, yeah, rest in peace, Jason, as well. He died tragically early, didn't he? Young. How old was Bramer when he died? It was quite recently as well. Good left back. 63. James says you should play some Call of Duty multiplayer. I bet you'll love it. I haven't played any computer games for ages. I mean, I like doing my career mode. I just haven't had any time. 66 minutes. There's still time. Best community ever, says Espin. Ben C plays, thanks for your super chat. I'd get Xerxes on, yeah. Yeah. I'd bring Xerxes on because I think Rasmus's just confidence is so low. And I'm just a little bit worried that we're away from home. This is an amazing atmosphere. They've just hit the bar. You know, I'd like to just get the game won. Massive shout out to Fotmob, by the way. If you haven't used it for your scores, your stats and everything, do check it out. Links in the description and the QR code goes round and it's in the top right-hand corner. Fantastic app for football. You can also see heat maps and all sorts of stuff on there as well. So check it out. They've been supporting us on this stream tonight with all the live league tables, etc. But look at that, Man United in third place. What does that change anything for Manchester United in relation to who we could play in the knockout phase? Well, let me show you this. It's difficult to figure it out, but Man United, we would be where Lazio are at the moment, on that side of the draw, third and fourth with first and second, but surely that will get split up into the qualifiers. I've just missed the bloody goal again. Every bloody time I do this, I'm a prat. I've got to stop looking at the permutations. I've missed the bloody goal again. Ah, this is a joke. I'm going for a hat-trick here. Yeah, Mainu again. Mainu again. Brilliant. But probably man of the match now, I think. A goal and an assist. Delo does really well. Rasmus into Mainu. Out to Garnacho. Cuts it back. It's a lovely goal. Brilliant play between Mainu and... It's a good goal, actually. Everybody's involved. Delo, Rasmus, but it's really about Garnacho and Mainu. Brilliant link-up between Mainu and Garnacho. And you know, Mainu should have had a goal, but what a pass. And that puts it to bed, really. I'll tell you what, this in the month of January, Garnacho must have 3 assists. One against Liverpool, one against Arsenal, and one here. It's a lovely assist. And I tell you what I would say is, Rasmus would have had one of them in the first half. So Mainu's taking up good positions in the box. He could have had a hat-trick tonight. Look, I'll give credit to you lot, as I will do. I can't predict everything, and a lot of you have said Mainu in the. Oh, Casemiro's coming on. Put a for sale sign up as you walk on. Rightmove.com. Get him a for sale sign. He can run around with it. Get him on Rightmove. Come on, it's a mistake. We're winning 2-0. It's easy. He can carry it around. He's not fast anyway. Get a for sale sign. It's a great idea. Look away more often, please, says Luke. Ineos need to get Garnacho and Mainu signed up, says Praticus. Here is Mainu. Corner. Pratcliffe wants to sell this guy, by the way, says Agate. Do you think Ed Woodward is sitting in his chair, feet watching Manchester United and celebrating the win with a glass of wine and some cheese? Maybe having Radcliffe on the speaker, says Howder. Minte on EAFC is pressing monster. You need him, says Who to Blame. That is Amorim Ball, says Ardo. And it appears Mainu is cooking. You were right, Carl. You were ahead of the game. Well done. FCSB, are these boys invading Ukraine tomorrow? Timo Barcelona soft lad. I don't know what that's all about, Sean. If that offended anybody, sorry. Do you think Shaw will become great again, says Mrs. Stone? No. Great at getting injured. Best community ever, says Espin. Thank you very much. That was a good goal. Good goal. Yoro comes on. Martinez comes off. Eriksson comes off. And Casemiro comes on. I think he's probably keeping Rasmus on for the whole game because Xerxes will start on Sunday, which probably makes sense, doesn't it? But it'd be nice for Rasmus to get a goal, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't really understand people who wouldn't want him to score because confidence of players all over is important, isn't it? Garnacho's learning, hopefully. That's what I was talking about, really, Kenneth. Thanks for your super chat, by the way. Kobe in the 10 role works, says Mr. Darkside. Casemiro coming on, it's like a new signing, says Josh. Only team unbeaten in Europe, says Esco. I don't know how I've managed that. But look, this is what I'm talking about Garnacho. Here we are trying to sell him. And I'm absolutely convinced he is going to be a star in the future. But when you look at what he's done in the last 2 years, the trajectory is always up. And I don't think some people get it. Like 3 assists in 1 month ain't bad. It's good. And they're good assists. Like the assist against Arsenal was good. The assist against Liverpool was good. That's a good assist as well. They're and what I mean by good assists, they're along the ground. Like they make the job easy for Bruno against Arsenal. For Mainu there. They're perfectly weighted for you just to step on. They're not bobbling. If I'm Chelsea, I'm putting a bid in. This is going to make them more put a bid in. And we're going to be bloody stupid to do the deal. Really stupid. Ineos can't let Garnacho go. He makes things happen, says Steve. Yeah, well, I've always said that. Somebody in the chat just says Kobe in the 10 doesn't work. Harry Maguire says, is Harry Maguire getting on? Garnacho's injured here. Oh, the Glazers are having a panic attack. He's hurt here. Fake it, Garnacho. Fake it till next Tuesday. You've got to fake it to make it. Up United, you're a goat, says Matthew Frost. Thank you, mate. Can we finish second? What's score in the Bilbao game? No, because we can't get any more points unless Bilbao are winning. Galatasaray are losing 2-0. Frankfurt are losing to Roma, which is why we've gone ahead of them. Fenerbahce are winning 2-1. Porto are winning 1-0. Spurs are winning 1-0, by the way. Scarlet scored. Sociedad are winning 2-0. They always worry me. Why can't I see the score for Athletic? But they're winning 2-1 against Plzen, yeah. If there's an equaliser there, we could go up to second. James Clough says it hurts watching Garnacho knowing the Glazers want to sell him. And what if Garnacho and Amorim stay to this injury, says Nabil. Good subs, good rotation. Manager 7.5, says James. Yeah, remember you can do your player ratings through the link in the description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, including the manager. My man of the match at the moment is probably Mainu. I think a goal and an assist. Whatever you think about the overall game is good. He's all right now. Walnut Sir Bob says, different team second half, look confident now. Thanks for all your super chats tonight, by the way. we're not going to be in the playoffs, but this is how it looks for the last 16. I don't really know how it works, if I'm being completely honest, but that's the playoffs. That's not what I want to show you, because we're not going to be in the playoffs. But Rangers and Bodo Glimt, they're in 9th and 10th. They'll play 23rd and 24th. Who's Mourinho going to get? I can't see Fenerbahce. Am I blind? I can't see them. Must be. Man United. Yeah, we're in that. We're in with Leon, aren't we? And we're gonna get. Well, it's difficult to figure it out, but big shout out to Fotmob. Poor old FCSB. Well, you get what you get. They're in 10th place after 8 games. At the end of a league, you are where you are. It is, you know, there's 8 games to play. What more do you want to say? Jay says, Garnacho, I'm going to sub you on and seal the game and then fake an injury. Ruben Amorim. I've seen him enough. Give him a 10 out of 10. Ollie's Besiktas are top of the are out of the cup, says Mrs. Stone. And Jack says, are you single? Because I think you look cute. No, I'm off the market, mate. Permanently. Thank you very much for that. Big shout out to Kevin Hond and Fox on TikTok for giving us a follow. Appreciate that. And a big shout out to everybody who's watched my new Driving with Goldbridge video. If you don't know what it is and you like the content, then check it out. Side netting from Rasmus on his right foot. Desperate to score a goal. I didn't fancy him on his right foot. Probably should have cut that back to Mainu. Mainu does really well. Rasmus battles. No, he couldn't get it to Mainu, to be fair. Yeah, it's a striker with no confidence, isn't it? That needs to be on target. Bramble on TikTok. He must be a right loser to be watching that. Who do you think are favourites to win the Europa League? We are. I'm telling you. Book your tickets for Bilbao in the I mean, that's dangerous, isn't it? They're in the tournament. Imagine if Bilbao get to the final. Bilbao, and I'm saying like they're Rocky. Sorry if you're from Bilbao. You're not Bilbao. I'm thinking about Rocky. The final is in Bilbao on the 21st of May. Book your tickets. But Bilbao are actually in the tournament as well. So imagine if we got them. That would be like a home game for them. Yeah. Is there anybody you want to avoid? I was looking at this the other day. We don't play in the Europa League now until. Let me wait. Don't somebody put it in the chat. I'm doing this. We don't play in the Europa League now until March. Rasmus is coming off a Xerxes for 10 minutes. And it's the 6th of March is the next time we'll play. So, I mean, I can tell you we would have had to play 2 Europa League games in February. And now we haven't. So it's more time on the training pitch. Nice easy night for Binder though, isn't it? Right. Come on, Xerxes. Get a goal. Lovely play by Garnacho. So much space. Wide to Ahmad. This is going to be 3. He's had a quiet time since he came on, Ahmad. Oh, they're queuing up. They're queuing up. You missed the kid pitch invader for Garnacho, says Ron. Lovely play, though, there by Garnacho. Gets it out to Ahmad. Rashford ran on for a selfie with Garnacho, says Ben Jordan. If things stay as they are, we'll play Ajax Anderlecht, PAOK or USG, says Ollie. As of now, I think we could face Galatasaray, says Kendrew. Thank you very much. How did FCSB play, says Radu? Within Xerxes header, I think he thinks he could have done better. I think within the limitations that they obviously have, they're not a Premier League team. I think they've done okay. Not a lot of attacking threat, but there's definitely a big difference between a team that costs hundreds of millions of pounds and who they are. I mean, that's a lovely bit of play and a good save by Bienda. I mean, they've not been too bad. They haven't been too bad. Leb says, unfortunately, Rasmus can't complain about service today. Keeps overrunning the inside passes and doesn't attack tap-ins, says Leb. I'll talk about Rasmus in the player reaction. I mean, he had a couple of chances tonight, definitely. He's not playing well at the moment. I don't know whether people are trying to poke me because you listen. I mean, I've already said this. It's boring. What people say on social media because they're jealous of the United stand isn't actually true if you watch the United stand. I've been saying for weeks he's not playing well. I've been giving him a low score. I've said it tonight, he's not played well. So I don't know why people keep trying to poke me for an answer about something that I'm not irritated about, I'm not bothered about, and I've actually agreed with everybody about. So it's just some weird obsession these people have. And, what's that word? The biggest sign of flattery is people who can't stop talking about you. A United win will top my birthday off, says Thomas. Garnacho playing like he don't want to leave, says Sean. Mate, I've told you all month. Amorim doesn't want to sell Garnacho. Garnacho doesn't want to leave Manchester United. The situation is, if Man United get an offer and accept it, then Garnacho's got to go, hasn't he? But he doesn't want to go, and Amorim doesn't want him to go either. This is completely about money. This is about PSR. That's all it is. Here is Garnacho. Good tackle. Hey, come on, Delo, get off your arse. Lovely play by Garnacho to track back, though. Fair play. Could Dorgu's move collapse if we keep Garnacho and the likes of Rashford and Casemiro fail to move? I don't think so, Free Immortal. Here's Ahmad. Mainu. Oh. I do like Mainu. I like Mainu in the 10. Personally, I think he's an 8 and he can play next to a 6. And you can get forward. But I actually think he's... Look, I said this 12 months ago. I said, it's very difficult to pigeonhole Mainu at 19 in his breakout season. I kept... Ten Hag played him as a 6, didn't he, away to Everton and Newcastle. And I said, I don't think he's a 6. I really don't think he's a 6. I thought he was an 8. Now I'm thinking he's more of a 10. But because he's 19, in another year, he might be an 8 again. The thing is, the best thing to do with Mainu is just not to pigeonhole him. The fact that, in the Euros for England, he was basically playing as an 8/6. He's now playing as a 10 here. It's probably his best game he's had all season. I would say don't pigeonhole him, because the more positions he plays, the better player he's going to be. Next week, he might be in goal. Mark, how much do we get if we win the Europa, says Mrs. Stone? I don't know, but every round we go through now, it's more money. I tell you what we do get if we win the Europa, £80 million. Because we're in the Europa League. We get the money for being in the Europa League, but we're in the bloody Champions League as well. Mark, how much? Just shows Amorim is moulding Garnacho into a 10, says Sean. Max is going to Sainsbury's. Do you want anything? No, I'm all right now, mate. Is Onana done at the club? No, he'll be back in goal on Sunday, mate. Philip, he'll be back in goal. The argument that Marcus Rasmus is dense, FC is dense, watch the match reactions and player ratings, says Hank. Mate, it's just jealous people who are trying to build their own thing, trying to build an agenda against us, but it won't work. Thank you for making me laugh during hard times. Bless you, Mark, says Varadi. Could Dorgu's move collapse? Done that one as well. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube, and give us a follow if you're on TikTok, like Gern has. Thank you very much for that. Could Garnacho refuse to leave like Rashford and Casemiro, Rossi? No, the big difference is that people want to buy Garnacho, but he doesn't want to go. Whereas Casemiro and Rashford want to go, but no one wants to buy them. Oh my God. Get up. Oh, it's Casemiro. Yellow card. It was late on Casemiro. Apparently there's a Liverpool stand now. I just think everybody who does... Bloody hell, that was wild on Casemiro. I'm glad it was on Casemiro as well. Not in a bad way, but he's quite sturdy, isn't he? What should we go for a title for the match react? Oh, I know, I've got it. I don't need your help. I appreciate your help, but I don't need it. I've got my match reaction title ready here. Don't worry. You'll be able to see it. Okay. Don't miss the shows tomorrow, by the way. Public sale of our tickets for the show in Dublin. It's a great venue. It's a 10-year show. It's going to be epic. Get your tickets for that. But if you're a member, you can get your tickets. Ours, Casemiro missed that. I nearly missed. I didn't miss that. If I'd looked away, he'd have scored it. You can get your tickets now if you're a member of the United Stand by going to the community tab. The link is there. It's going to be an amazing night in Dublin. It's an amazing venue right in the heart of the city in Temple Bar. Our 10-year show. Be there. Get your tickets now if you're a member, or tune in tomorrow and we'll be putting the public link out as well. Here's Garnacho. Been good since he came on. Needs to pass into Bruno. And he misses it. Fucking hell, Bruno. Brilliant. I'll tell you what, I think Garnacho's been superb second half. Done an inflammatory tweet. Not like me. It's not my style normally. Who scored? Delo and Mainu. Yeah. Goals. Player ratings you can do through the link in the description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Thanks for that. I thought they'd scored then. I thought I'd missed them scoring. Where are we in the league? Third. Hey, it'd be nice to get another 3 wins in a row, clean sheets. You can't argue with that. Pleasant have had a man sent off, so go on. Bloody hell, I tell you what, I don't blame Garnacho for not doing that 50-50 with the goalie. We're on the break, the ball's bouncing, the keeper's running out at 100 miles an hour with his boot in the air. We're 2-0 up, into stoppage time. Yeah, I don't fancy that. Mate, he's got to go. Is that a second yellow card? Yeah, it's a yellow anyway. They're quite dirty. It's a playoff for FCSB. Casemiro just needs his confidence, said somebody in the chat. Casemiro needs some bloody pace, mate. He's done. I haven't noticed him in this game at all. Apparently Spurs have scored. Forget about it. Are Spurs a threat? Mate, Spurs are a threat. I think we'll meet Spurs somewhere along the way and we'll need to beat them, yeah. Spurs are probably... If at the start of the season, I would have said Spurs are the only team we need to worry about. But being as us and Spurs have been so shit, that's probably a little bit disrespectful to other teams in the tournament. But I do think that Spurs could still be a problem in this tournament for us. Free kick into the wall. Thanks everyone who's tuned in, by the way. Absolute legends. Tudor followed us on TikTok as well. Lots of people saying in the chat we desperately need a striker. I don't know. Look, Rasmus's confidence is on the floor. He's playing really bad. Is Xerxes really going to be a prolific goal scorer? I don't think we bought him in to be that. We're going to have to get a striker at some point, but the quality of striker you all want, we ain't going to get in January with no budget. So we go with what we've got, really. Casemiro just had a header there. Obi Martin, when he's ready, give him a go. Cab, thanks for the follow on TikTok. Bodo Glimt are out, says Sakin Murthy. Well, they're not out. They're just not in the 8, are they? Nice must have scored. Yeah, Nice equalised there. Galatasaray have got one back. It's going to be too late because they're losing 2-1. Mark, any truth to all the rumours that you're going to be the new James Bond, says Chris. Have they not announced the new James Bond yet? I mean, I've given up on James Bond now. I thought the ending to the last one ruined the whole franchise. You know, 50 years of work and you ruined it with your modern, stupid ideas. It's like Disney and Star Wars. We will sell Rashford right, says Bjorn. It would break my heart to bid farewell to Garnacho. Darryl Griffin, thank you. Laser on the keeper's face, says Liam. Yeah, a few people have been mentioning lasers. I mean, that shouldn't be happening. Come on, Xerxes, sort it out. There we go. Do you like the new Europa League format? I don't like the Europa League full stop. I'm begging for Wi-Fi. It doesn't massively matter to me. Oh, Ahmad. Bruno, come on, you're never getting a penalty for that. Missing the game thanks to the storms here in Ireland on Friday, and I had to run a few errands, so I missed the match. How have we played? Second half's been quite good, the boat. Lovely play by Mainu into Garnacho. And he shoots, and that'll be a corner. Delot's been superb. Delit's been superb since he arrived, says Nabil. Mate, Delit just doesn't get the credit he deserves. If that was Maguire tonight, they'd never shut up about, what's Bruno going down for there? That's not good, Bruno. It doesn't even touch you where you go down. Europa League Invincibles, says Shahin. We're the only team undefeated in the group stage, says Rick. Yeah, and let's give a shout out to Ten Hag. He's had a part to do in that. Rick says that. Can Garnacho decline? Can Garnacho decline the wages that the other clubs offer? What happens if they don't agree, says Devon? Yeah, you don't have to go, but the thing is, it's like Paul Ince said, isn't it? He didn't want to leave Man United. Then Sir Alex Ferguson says, I've sold you to Inter Milan and I want you to go. As much as you don't want to leave Man United, when the club is saying we want you to go, it's hard to stay, isn't it? Because it's like, well, I'm not wanted. So it becomes quite difficult in that sense, I think. Ecto says, I'm proud of FCSB for reaching this point and I hope they get through, but I'm so happy for the win for United. Thanks, pal. If you could have any striker, who would you have, says Mark? I mean, Lewandowski, Harry Kane, Erling Haaland. I'd take one of the best strikers in the world. of course. Free Immortal says, if a bid comes in for Garnacho, we need to give the same energy we did when United wanted to sign Arnautovic. Good point. Surely it's Gyökeres in the summer, says Carl. Casemiro with a Zoopla sign on his pack, says Walnut Sir Bob. Thank you very much. Right, let's get over to the player ratings. I'm looking forward to those, actually. I'm actually looking forward to the player ratings. I'm interested to see what your scores are going to be. So, yeah, very interested in that. And let's head over there now. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I'll see you on the match reaction.